Hello, good morning. Ballabun and Breckie are out on an adventure again. Today we are going up an ancient, or going up to an ancient Iron Age hill fort not far from Bridge of Erne and not far from where I live in Abernethy. So this one's a good one. It has well defined earthworks, so you can get a feel for what it may have looked like in ancient times. And once we get up, it's a steep climb. Once we get up, have a look at that, we'll head over to the neighbouring hill, to Coolticher Hill, and just see what that's like. So we're just heading up this track from a place called Glen Erne. So it's a pretty steep climb to get up there, so nae doot I'll get out a puff. But thanks for joining me. Let's see where this day takes us. Right, Breck, let's go. Right, just right in the centre screen, that's low uprising little hill, the forest, the wood on top. That's Drumbull's fort. There's actually an old site of an ancient fort there. And even though it's lowish, just over 100 metres, you can see it does dominate the lovely fertile land round here. So that is for another day. I can see little tracks do head up towards it the farmers will use. So for another time I shall have a look at Drumbull's fort. That looks an interesting one. Just set in the Erne Valley in a beautiful winter's day. It's cold, hovering about freezing, but it's very still. Not a puff of wind. So ideal for Breckie boy and me to go out exploring. Brick, you want a biscuit? Right, this is brutally steep here. The heart rate is going, it must be 20 odd % here, if not steeper in places. So you just have to set your own easy pace and get to the top. Once this section's done, it does ease up a bit, so we're getting there. Right, we're at an old abandoned farmstead. On the map it says it's called Glen Erne Hill. By goodness, this must have been a lonely old place back in the day when you were eking out a living. Just behind us, that grassy mound is the Castle Law Hill Fort, which we'll be going to. There's sheep on it, so Breckie is on his lead. But yeah, this must have been a lonely place, but maybe a cracking place as well to live. Solid, isn't it? They didn't shirk when they were building these places, but there's a lot of wee nooks and cranny for a shelter, so if you were stuck for a night and you were doing a bit of wild camping and there was a blowing a hoolie, you could certainly get in amongst the walls here to get some shelter. But yeah, you see a lot of these old abandoned farmsteads in Scotland. What tales they could tell. Right, Breckie, I think the path takes us up and round the back of the hill here, so that's where we're going. Right, Breckie, behave, sheep are about, you're on your lead. But we're on the side now of the Castle Law Hill Fort. Definitely getting a feeling for the different levels already, the sort of ditches. Just crossed one and about to go down and up another one. This would have slowed down the marauders. Oh, it's a steep edge here. Let's get up at break. All the while they're throwing stones and spears and arrows at me. And now we come to another level. So just come out of that one. And we have another little ditch. Flipping heck. Whoop. And up we go again. Is that 3 ditches I've crossed? Now the main ditch here. That's a deep one, look at it. Whew. That would have taken a lot of effort. Some stone at the side. Right, we'll continue this once we get to the top. Right, we're up at the main fort complex now. This looks like some sort of an entrance down there. And there's so many myriad of interweaving ditches and earthworks up here. It's so complex. But you certainly get a feel for this site and its defensive ditches. I dare say antiquarians and archaeologists have been here and have probably left their marks behind as well, but very impressive site to come to. We have a fort in Abernethy just above us called, funnily enough, Castle Law, and it's not as well preserved as this with the, you know, the well defined ditches. But you certainly get a view in a clear day. You'll see all the way to Dundee and the coast in the east there, the River Tay, the fertile Erne Valley below us. That must have been prime land back in the day. And then looking up north and the Highlands, which you'll see nothing today because of the conditions. And behind us, that little trig point, there it is Coolticker Hill, which I might go up after this, but we're going to stop here for a wee while, have a brew. Breck will get some treats, so we'll just find a wee bit out of the light wind and coorie doon for a cup of coffee. Oh, right, we're getting everything ready for a brew. Just top up the meths. Good. There we go. Fill it up. Beautiful. We'll give it a wee light. Hopefully that will take. We'll get sheltered here. Right. Get the wee wind break around it, eh? Ah, God. Right. Okay, we were just interrupted by a walker who came up and surprised us. So Breaky Boy was barking at him. And you're a big softy, but when his hackles are up, he can look mean. So we've got the little coffee maker on, the meth stove's burning, milk's ready. So it's time for Breck to get his. I think I can hear and smell, I smell coffee brewing beautifully. Oh, look at that! This is going to be such a treat up on a cold, windswept Scottish hill. Oh man, this is luxury, isn't it? Proper brew. Let's give it a wee bit longer just to make sure it's all through. It's going nicely. Oh, lovely. Good. Get that coffee in there. Oh, it's dribbling everywhere, but so that I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy it. Oh, every last bit out. Lovely. Now, what I'm going to do with the remaining fire is hopefully get the coffee out the way, heat up last night's pizza. Hey! wee taste of this freshly brewed coffee on a Scottish hill. Oh, that is so good. I don't think there's a better way of doing a coffee than with those little percolator things. They're just so good. Doesn't weigh that much. Oh, this is divine. Right, how's the pizza oven going? Right. Let's see what this pizza's like. Hot, I imagine. Very hot. That's burnt out. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Steaming hot pizza. Woof. Gee whiz. Whoa, God. It's a sticky mess. Right, let's try a bit. Let's try a bit. Oh my God. Mmm. Yesterday's pizza on the triangular burner. Tastes fine, it's certainly hot. Okay folks, that's me and Brekkie Boy just leaving the summit of the hill fort. We've had our lovely brew and the pizza. Always good for warm food on a freezing day, and the temperatures are dropping. I am really feeling the cold, so Breck will too, so we're leaving the hill. My little thermometer that's on my backpack's just hovering at 0, but with the wind chill it's considerably colder than that. So we just left the entranceway there. It reminds me a wee bit of Dunad over in Argyllshire, just a wee bit in that sort of entrance. Right, let's follow the track down, Breck. So definitely the weather is starting to get colder. It's picking up wind, even though the forecast is for it to get milder. It's bloody cold up here, that's for sure. So we just follow this wee sort of track down, and you'll see below us the sort of is it Glen Earn Hill steading that we had a look at earlier in the video. You get a clearer picture. It's sort of nestled down in a little hollow. But God, what a lonely place. So we're going to head down. We'll report back when we're further down the hill. Come on, Brick. Come on. We've just noticed someone in the distance. Over there. There he is. Where'd he go? A human. What are they up to standing there? We must be careful. Maybe they're just bird watching. That's us back to near the start of the walk. It's so mild now that we're further down, we're out the wind from up in the hill above us, which is absolutely freezing when we were up there. So much nicer conditions down here. That chap that we saw in the wee close up earlier, he was actually a hunter, a chap with a gun strapped over his shoulder. So he was out trying to shoot something or other. But otherwise, what a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed joining me and Breck on our little trip up Castle Law by Glen Earn in Perthshire. It's a wonderful old Iron Age hill fort. So if you're ever in the area and you want a steep climb and beautiful views, I thoroughly recommend it. So as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for having a wee look at my videos. If you enjoy it, maybe give us a little thumbs up, and I'm glad you come and watch them and leave any comments. I love to hear your comments. So as per usual, I'll stop rambling and I'll just check out. So this is Barrowburn, little brekkie below me. Check it out. Now this is interesting. This is the little sort of farm town called Glenern, and there's a beautiful old ancient ruined chapel. I saw it on the map, so I thought I'll have a nosy. So let's have a look and see what we can see. Yeah, truly ancient gravestones. Proper skull and crossbones, isn't it? What does this say? Here lies in their Tov's husband, man Thomas Small, who died for religion, covenant, beyond king and country, September 1645, the age of 58. Wow, that's ancient. Back during the civil wars, so there'd be a lot of covenanters involved in that. Another truly ancient gravestone. Really old. Memento Mori. Remember death. 1614. Blimey. Here we are on the gable end, the western end of this ancient chapel in this delightful setting. How old is this? I'll have to do a bit of research, but just the arch here above what would have been the window does look pretty old. We've got a wee horseshoe for good luck. And here's the interior of this tiny little chapel. Love those windows. I assume this must have been the private chapel for the local family that owned the land round here. But it's beautiful. What a lovely little find. So pleased I made the excursion to have a look. Wonderful. What a gorgeous place this is. I'm assuming it's Glenern House. There's a lovely little ducat through the arch there. And the gorgeous landscape area, lovely pond, the stable block. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Gorgeous horse heads. What a cracking place. Lovely, lovely. So this is a gem, nice little find on my wanderings. Obviously private, so I'll leave. Be discreet and leave now, but wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. You'll see the pond. Beautiful, what a lovely spot. Right, that's us done. This was just a little added extra to today's film, so thanks for joining me on this little historic excursion, and we shall see you real soon back through this way past the chapel and there and back to the car.